Let me stream live. Hey, everybody over on YouTube and in the boot camp Facebook group. I also have Instagram live going on because I know that some people don't check their email and it is like Saturday evening. This was very impromptu because we just wrapped up the Epic 4-day boot camp series. We did a live sample call yesterday, and it was really, really good. I'm so happy that we had the mock session. If you were able to watch the replay, it was a good amount of people on there. During the replay, you may not be able to see how many people were on there, specifically because the way Zoom records, it only records if people are showing their face. And so we had about 50 something people register, about 40 something people show up, and we were able to answer at least 10 to 12 questions. And it just made me think after the call was over, how many more questions are there out there? Maybe when people couldn't make it live, or would people have asked their questions if I did not have that session via Zoom? So what I did this morning is I put out just like a filler of, are there any other questions? In Southern California, it's a little gloomy right now because I guess, we got a storm coming or something, right? But y'all been following me on Instagram, man. These people out here acting like it's March 15th in 2020. Like the tissue ain't going nowhere in Costco. I promise y'all. The water is heavily stacked. Okay. So I was sitting there shopping for rugs. All right, let's go. Let's move on. I don't want to waste our time on the East Coast. It is 9:00. Okay. So I do want to pull up the questions that I received in the Facebook group and via DM because it was like overlapping questions. So the first question is a very good one, but we did post the instructions, so I'm just going to go over them on the screen. If you are listening to it verbally, just follow along. All right. So the question is, the person if you want to sign up for DTA by Sunday, so that you can get the early bird bonuses that include a APA 6 credit CE workshop that will be hosted in September. Okay, that's one bonus, right? And so that's CE workshop. Even if you're not licensed, you can still attend. You just won't get the CEs, right? Even if you cannot claim APA CEs, you can still attend, right? You just won't get a certificate. So that's one bonus. The second bonus is the social media mini course. And now that is a separate course shell that, let me be clear, anything that gives you access to a course shell, you will get access 7 days after your cohort starts, right? So for example, the cohort that's coming in, they officially have their coaching call on August 28th, but we're giving them access to DTA earlier, clearly, than August 28th. So within 7 days, we're going to give within 7 days of tomorrow, because tomorrow's the last day to get the early bird. So basically the following Monday, August 28th, everybody who signed up by tomorrow is going to get an email saying you've been granted access to another course shell. Does that make sense? So the reason why, for example, if you have registered for DTA, you've logged into the portal and you see that you have DTA and no bonuses, it's because bonus 1 is a CE workshop that has not happened yet. Okay. And if you cannot make that CE workshop, we'll be revealing the dates and stuff like that when you all come to the coaching call. If for whatever reason you can't make it, you have to be live to get the CEs, but you still can access the replay. So basically you can get the information no matter what. And the topic is a very good one. How can you take your niche that you've developed in your private practice, at least one focus area, and how can you expand that into 7 streams of additional income? You're going to create a 7 streams of income map with us live on the call or on the replay, but that is live in September. The second one, like I said, you will be granted access around August 28th, where you will receive an email saying, here's your access. Now, let me also just give a rationale to that, and I think that you would appreciate it. As human beings, we are overstimulated in this day and age where there's too much technology, so many social media platforms, so many emails, just so many things that are on the internet, right? The last thing I would like to do, think about it in college. You're going through your orientation class and you're understanding what is expected of you in this course you signed up. You're starting to learn the information, you're starting to implement the information, and then you click out of the course and you like, ooh, a social media course, because this is what we do, right? And you like, I need to up my presence on social media. I need to make sure that I'm showing up HIPAA compliant on social media. So what do? You click into the social media course and you just start taking it. Then, there's a coaching call and you forgot about DTA. Mm-mm. We at least need to get you to module 1, meaning go beyond the orientation, go beyond the pre-assessment and DTA, if that makes sense. And then we'll give you access. We've done it the other way before where we've given you access to all of the mini course shell bonuses. That did not go well. And the wins that we've received from students this year in 2023, because we've done it for all the cohorts, meaning we slowly give you access to stuff. The biggest thing that they've said is, we appreciate that you don't give us access to everything all at one time. And at least you have a coaching call with us to explain to us how to navigate through the program so that we don't get click happy and get off track. Because some of y'all are also a part of DTA beyond the information and leveling up your current or future private practice, simply because you don't know where to start. You have all these moving pieces if you started already and you're overwhelmed. You don't have enough time. So why do you think we take our time giving you access to these things? So put a 1 in the comment box if you are watching live or a replay on either platform, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, if that makes sense. Okay. So live September, the social media later in a week, right? And then the third bonus everybody's going to get, I released that on day 4. That is the Know Your Worth. That is where we show you how to calculate your hourly rate. That is also another course shell. It is not in the DTA portal. We will not give you access to that until the 28th. All right. I just need you to go in there and start. That's all I need you to do. Go in there and start. All right. All right. And if you've joined DTA, we've had a few of you join. Y'all crept in there yesterday. You feel me? So congratulations. So let's go actually to that question, which was a really, my internet is tripping. Hold on. Okay. Instagram, we live, we back. All right. So it was timing out. So the second question was, I joined DTA, ready to go. Congratulations, Adrian. It takes me a few times for material to sink in, which is fine, which is why somebody had asked, why do we do 12 weeks? You can come back however many times you like. As you saw, we had a student from 2020 say, yo, I need to come back. Well, come on through. You know what I'm saying? And why do people come back? People come back either to get connected. Sometimes you join the program and life starts lifing. So you may not be able to maneuver through the material and connect with other clinicians at the time that you join. So that, it is what it is. Like, you ain't got to tell us that you got to take a step back. Just take a step back. You go through the course self-paced, Another reason why some people go back is because they see me doing one of these boot camps and they like, that look way different than when I joined. Maybe I should go back into the portal and see what I missed, right? That's where a lot of students did in January 2023 who joined over the last 4 years, because we up-leveled the portal in January, like rebranded it and everything. And then a big reason why people come back, honestly, is because, let's be real, private practice goes through ebbs and flows. You receive all the information like reading a book the first time. However, when you read a book the first time, do you really think that you remember everything that you read? Absolutely not. However, what tends to happen is, because of the season that you're in, let's just say if you're in the I stumbled across our Facebook ad on accident season, you don't even know what to expect. So then you came and I like verbally vomited on you all of these great nuggets in the boot camp. For some people, they're going to be like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I want to join DTA. So they'll wait. We've had students who are part of this boot camp that have been part of the last 2 boot camps. Maybe they were operating in fear. I'm not sure. Then there are some people where they're like, all right, I showed up. I came up whether I knew about it or not. I need the help and I want to enroll, but I know I ain't about to receive, retain all this information. So with the 12-week model, the goal is that we at least, especially for this 2023 year, you're going to go through 2 phases of the BRAND. What that means is I'm going to intentionally say on every call, do you have questions on Blueprint? Do you have questions on marketing? Do you have questions on automation? But also, do you have questions about anything else related to your private practice? Okay. So with that said, Her last part of her question was, can we review past modules as often as we need to? Absolutely. The most important part, though, is when you go through the modules, make sure that you mark complete after you've either watched the video and then you're going to go do the workbook, because you get access to the workbook before you start watching the videos so that you can kind of like just go at your pace, right? So one of the things that I would recommend is make sure that you finish each framework, mark it complete, because then it will say that you've earned a badge. And we recognize you in the Facebook group amongst all the other clinicians, like, hey, congratulations this month on these students for completing these badges, right? So the badge indicates you've completed the framework, and what that means is that it will remain unlocked. The only way that a next module stays locked is because you haven't finished the module before. Does that make sense? You can't get into module 1 blueprint unless you've done the pre-assessment. Y'all who got in overnight, those of you who get in this weekend, you can do the pre-assessment. You can be on framework, if not done with it, at least watching the videos by the time we meet on August 28th. Right? So I hope that answers that question. You can go back as many times as you would like. You can go back 1 to 2 years later. And if I add new material, if it's a lot of new things, I will definitely either announce it in Facebook and we will send out an email, especially if it's done during a coaching call and I decided to add it to the portal. Okay. Now the biggest question, actually is 2. So another one was from Monique. I am looking to start my private practice from the ground up, meaning there is no private practice at all. I'm at the starting point and I am in need of assistance in learning all the things I need to know and to build a successful solo practice from scratch. I want to make sure that DTA is the right fit so that I can pull the trigger on the investment. So I'm going to switch over my screen and I'm going to show you the portal just so that you can see that we take you, our framework. If you even look, the framework is the BRAND. Within the framework itself, we take you A to Z. The holes in the middle are really based on you showing up to get support for your business. Everybody's business is created differently. It's kind of like giving you, actually, let's look at licensure, right? You're earned a license. You take the licensing exam. But at the end of the day, the licensing board outside of ethics, they can't tell you where to go work. You have to figure that out and then get assistance, right? The professor can tell you, we need you to write a dissertation, but you need to go figure out the topic and then come to class to ask your questions. That's a good analogy, right? So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just do another type of overview of the portal just so that you can see beyond the framework how, and including the framework, how DTA will support both types of clinicians, whether it is just starting or you need to relaunch your practice. Okay. So let me flip screens. Okay. So this is the portal. Let me just like move this stuff over. So if you're watching on Instagram, head over to YouTube or its Facebook group. All right. So, okay. So when you come into DTA, I'm going to go into some sections just to show you, right? So you have the start here. When you go into the start here, there's going to be some bonus material, especially if you need to do like a recheck or you need to just start from scratch beyond the framework. So all of this is just getting you acclimated to the program. Okay. Accountability is showing you how to create an accountability group, but we'll talk about that on the first few calls. So what we're going to ask people is, do you have an accountability group? Some of you are already start forming it because you're already in the portal and you see that that's what we're telling you to go do. So you go to Facebook and do all these things, right? But let me just decrease any overwhelm. If you show up to one of the coaching calls and you're like, I ain't got no accountability group, what should I do? You can do one or two things. You can either go over to Facebook and outright post your own thread and say, this is the tip. This is who I am. Like, that's your name, because some of y'all Facebook names ain't your name. So this is my name. This is where I'm located. This is my niche. I'm looking for accountability group partners. And are you just starting private practice? Like, give us a little blurb. No solicitation in the Facebook group for DTA, right? It's a separate Facebook group. Once you do that, you're going to start engaging with other people. Now, what we tend to do after, or what we do after the first 2 coaching calls, is we'll ask you to do this actually in the chat box on the live coaching call. Our team is going to export the chat box. We're going to upload it in a PDF form, and it's going to say everybody who wants an accountability group. So what tends to happen on those calls when you're there is that you actually will form your accountability group right there on the call, and we'll give you a few moments and say, just exchange information and then take it over to Facebook if y'all need to, and then go and follow the instructions. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's the accountability group. And then this just explains our framework. This is pre-assessment. This is a bonus that you get. This is an audio course. Quick tip, the Unleash Your Inner Boss, it does have like some mini worksheets, but the most important part is that you just listen to it. So if you joined yesterday and you do personal development, which I highly encourage, allow me to be your personal development coach, right? As well as your business coach. So if you work out on Sundays, if you take a walk in the morning, right? Just press play. In the orientation, just quick tip, once you get into the portal, download the app called Kajabi, Kajabi, log in to Kajabi, DTA will appear. You can access everything we give you in our program on the go. No excuses. If you need to re-listen to a coaching call, but you outside watching your kid play basketball, but they have practice and you can actually tune in, press play. You know what I'm saying? So that's Unleash Your Inner Boss. Okay. Let me see something in here. Oh, you know what? It got moved around. Hold on. Let me find it for you. Okay. So where is it at? I gotta go find it. There is a section in here that actually gives you access to additional videos. Okay. So the videos for the person who just joined, it's going to include things like business checklist, like starter kit, right? So it's going to include very brief videos about things to consider for tax write-offs, things to consider when you're looking for an office, things to consider when you're generally marketing. But of course, we also dive deeper into that in the course portal. So to answer the question about if I don't have a private practice, does it take me from A to Z? The answer is yes, right? Also, if you have questions about how do I find the right CPA, just ask us on the live call. We've answered that questions 10 times over in all of the cohorts. Okay. If you have questions about like what software to use in terms of EHR, you can actually ask that in Facebook. We teach off Simple Practice. You're not mandated to do Simple Practice, but some of the videos that you'll see is based off Simple Practice. Okay. And then we have a little coupon code in there for you. But you can take the information that we do in Simple Practice, and if you know your EHR, go shop around for one. If you have questions around what phone line to use, how do you sign up for Gmail and all those things, bring all that stuff to the coaching call, but it's also embedded in some of these Q&A calls. Okay. For those who have existing practices, this is also vitally important. What happens with our clinicians who already have a practice, what they find is that they have to unlearn more so some mindset stuff around what it takes to run a profitable business. So I want you all to come in with an open mind. And that was clearly showcased in the boot camp. Like, whoa, I didn't do all this, you know? And so you are to also go through the portal in order. As you go in order, somebody said this in the boot camp yesterday, use our coursework as a checklist. Do the work still. Don't say, oh, I got my business plan already. I did it with my CPA. I don't need this. Let me just mark complete and not watch the video, not do the workbook, just randomly answer the questions at the end, which is not good because I do review them, right? Actually take your time and go through them, because as you're processing the information in this season in your business, it's going to hit different. If y'all just look at the last 3 years of our world, it has impacted the people that we serve, including our households, 20 times over, from inflation continuing to go up a total of 4 times in the last 3 years, in addition to stopping the forgiveness. So that might have hurt some of y'all bank accounts. Let's be all the way real. Some of y'all left y'all jobs. Some people lost their jobs in the last 3 years. And then our clients have lost their jobs, lost their insurance. Some of y'all have lost clients. There's just been constant change. Everybody got adjustment disorder. Everybody. So I want you just to consider that, whether you are just starting or you are revamping your practice, go in with an open mind and take your time, not like a turtle though, but take your time going through the course shell and finishing the framework in order. So yes, we will help you from A to Z. And a good amount of our students did not have a private practice, and they are doing very, very well. And let me just say this too, because this actually happened recently with a student, and they like reached out through a support ticket. If for whatever reason, because I don't want to like sugarcoat stuff, courses will teach you information, but the information will only take you so far. So if you were in a college class and you didn't understand something, would you just keep going to class and then you turn around and tell your family, see, I told you I shouldn't have enrolled in college. I told you I don't understand this, or I'm not getting the outcome. I'm not getting the jobs after I graduate. I told you I shouldn't have went to college. This is what happens. And I really want you to think about abundance mindset versus lack and poverty mindset. Abundance mindset is, I need to show up and get support. Even if I felt like I got support the last time I joined, whatever they were teaching me, I didn't get as many clients as I would have liked. And the only way you can come up with that number is either you're comparing yourself to other people or you're comparing yourself to wins that we shared during the boot camp. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody markets different, but let me also be clear, and it won't come out in a cutthroat way. I'm very fun and energetic and loving, right? I care about all my students. I care about all the clients in the program. So if you run into a roadblock and you are not getting the outcome that you would like in your business, then you have to show up and get support for your business. That is an abundant business owner. If you choose to suffer in silence, I can't help you. Just like you can't help a client who shows up to a session and they choose not to talk. If they choose to tell you everything around the actual trauma, there's only so many techniques that you can do. Put a 2 in a comment box if that makes sense. There's only so many things that you can do to help a client when you don't know the real symptomology. I can speak that language to other therapists, right? And so when students have come to us and said, I tried this. If you say you tried it, show me your work. Simple as that. So just be prepared that if you have ever felt like you've taken a course and you ain't getting what you want out of it, the course won't work you. You got to work the course. So if you get all the way to the end and you've been with us for 6 months, a year, or whatever, the first question I'm going to ask is, thank you for participating on Instagram. The first question I'm going to ask is, tell us, who is your ideal client? Now I'm going to be quite frank. That's where most of them have gotten stuck. And that's where some people will choose to suffer in silence because they just don't want to talk out loud. Well, again, I can't help you, right? So it's not just me helping you, it's other clinicians helping you. It's a community, right? So if you tell us who your niche is, we're going to give you feedback on your niche if needed. The second question is going to be, okay, now that this is your ideal client, what have you tried? Meaning, where have you marketed your services? Well, I'll be posting every day on social media. Okay, great. What kind of content have you been posting on social media? I'm going to keep asking questions. And you'll be like, I'm posting this. Okay, let's pull it up. What's your social media handle? Boop, pull it up on a call, right? So we're going to share the screen. Don't feel embarrassed. You want help. So we pull you up on a screen. And we're like, okay, Poppin, you doing consistent work. You even talking to your ideal audience. But maybe I see, it looks like you got 1,000 followers. Do you know the makeup of your followers? Do you know the engagement? Do you look at the analytics? Oh, I don't look at no analytics. What's analytics? Okay, strike. I don't say that, but like strike, right? You're not even looking to see if people are engaging in your audience because you didn't hire a VA just to publish stuff to your page. When I look at your content, it don't even look like how you talking to me. It don't even look like that on your post. It sounds like an AI robot. You didn't even finesse it. I ain't gonna say it like that, but I'm gonna say it, right? So y'all can kind of see my drift. If you're not getting results, bring it to us. Let us help you. But please note, just like you do with your therapy clients, we're gonna have questions because we can't create a treatment plan unless we have symptoms. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me check the chat box. All right. Nice. Okay. So that answered that question. I want to really find that those other bonuses. Hold on for a second. Let me just, y'all gonna see me like click around this portal. So there's framework. Oh, we also have a DTA map. So this is something we just recently created. Somebody had asked us, like, I see that there's a lot of Excel sheets or whatever. How do I know where stuff is? So this is like a bonus within itself. Let me see. I don't know if it's going to pull up on the screen though. It might pull up somewhere else. We have a good amount of, oh, okay, it did. Okay. So this is an example, and we'll continuously update this. This is an example of what kind of additional support you have, right? So this is the section I'm looking for, business resources. So either it's unpublished and I need to publish it again, but there's a section called business resources. Okay. Under business resources, you will have a video, a short video, and a tracker, a Google spreadsheet that you can use to track your GFEs, good faith estimate tracker. You also have, some of y'all asked this yesterday, and I'm like, I'm gonna give you the SOP for your SOP. So for standard operating procedures to open up a case for quality assurance, I give you the list of things to consider, like a checklist when you're opening up cases. Just clone it to your drive and add in what you want to add in to your stuff. Okay. We give you examples of job questions and characteristics. Now, that was something that I did not create, but the students on a call created. So you can use it and then copy it to your drive and finesse it to your own. We give you what's called Delegate to Elevate. That is our time audit, where we show you how to track your time so you can know who to hire. We also do what's called conversion, like a basic conversion Excel sheet. So the conversion spreadsheet, that again was done after I explained it on a coaching call, and I'm a visual person, so I chose to just create it for our students. That's part of that like dream schedule that you didn't get if you were in the bootcamp Facebook group, but it's an added one to the actual real one in the course, because like I gave y'all a sample one. So it shows you how to track your conversion so that you can actually know, like, wow, in order for me to get 3 new clients a week, I got to have this amount of consultations. But the only way you're going to know that number is if you start tracking what you're doing, right? So then we have additional Google spreadsheets, or, you got your workbooks too. We didn't put that on here. So under framework, under business blueprint, you have your DTA wealth and dream schedule. That's what I did yesterday on the mock call. You also have your wealth tracker. Your wealth tracker is just like, everybody should be doing this anyway, but I just gave it to people who just need that extra push. This is an Excel sheet that like just shows you how to track your money. So just track your money. You know what I'm saying? Use apps to do it, but some people need that. Under automation, which is a very big chunk of our program as well, framework number 3, you get some bonuses in there that is not, it's included in the course, but it's just like, hey, here's some bonuses here, So documentation, storage of files and forms, Q&A. Now, I also want to be clear, I don't give you outright consent forms because the EHR gives that to you now. Now, when I started private practice 11 years ago, I had to create my consent forms from scratch. So I do teach you what to consider to add into consent forms beyond the EHR ones, because they're going to give you a template one and they're really, really good. I use them in my private practice, but I go in and add my little disclaimer about no-shows. I actually give concrete examples of what does a 24-hour cancellation look like? And I give them an example in the consent form, right? So within that, you will see samples of intake forms, credit card authorization, just in case you don't use the EHR, therapy consultation form. We teach you how to automate your consultation system. If some of you see couples, we give you examples of questions to look for if you do premarital couples. Maybe you need to check in with clients because you haven't seen them in a while. We talk about that like briefly. I'll show you questions I ask them. And then we call it graduation, but termination summary, like you got to create this form on your own in the EHR. And again, I had these, but I don't even realize how many forms I got in my database over the last 11 years. One, developing programs, I've developed forms all over the place. So what tends to happen is students will ask for something, and before I go and create it from scratch, I will search my whole multiple Google Drives from different agencies that I've created, and I'll just pull it together, make it doable, and then I'll give it to y'all. Like, it's that easy. So closed mouths don't get fed. Okay. Then bonus master classes. You saw that in day 4. There's a lot of bonus classes, but some of them include, or not limited to, navigating insurance panels, understanding numbers with insurance panels, understanding how much, money you bring home, and things like that. Okay. Put a 1 in the comment box if that was helpful to go over, like you actually get a map. So you guys are like looking at the course right now if you're on this. All right, then you have your DTA completion, and then these are some of the bonuses. So you get HR operations. So these are, oh, here it is. Woo! Okay. So startup. So for the student who had asked, or the clinician who had asked, I just started. How do I know I'm in the right place? Go through the portal, but write this section down, y'all, if you join DTA. And again, this is not required because the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this business startup resources, I would just rather you look at the list of videos and see which one you need right now, like right now, more like the tax stuff or CPA stuff. But other stuff, you'll see you can get that when you're going through the course. Okay. So under business startup resources, let me click on that just so you can see. You have the GFE, that's right there. Okay. Then you have, this probably will be reorganized, but look right here. It says click the picture and it will open up a video. I'm not going to do it right now. So you have one on business structure planning checklist. Don't watch that. You're in DTA. Marketing checklist. You can watch it. It's a 15, 20-minute video if you want, but it's embedded in DTA. But if you must need marketing right now, go and watch it. Startup costs. That would be one. If you're just starting, I would definitely say watch. Tax write-offs. I would definitely say watch when you can, right? Watch it maybe before we meet live. Okay. Okay. So that answered that question. And then one of the big questions related to the bonuses. Okay. And then if you have any other questions, I'll answer them. So go ahead and throw them in the comment box right now, either on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram. And I will ask them. If you're watching this on the replay, ask it in the Facebook group or on Instagram, DM me, and I will answer them. Okay. If I need to go live, if it's a lot of them, I'll just go live again. I plan on going live throughout the week until next Friday because questions do come up. And I do better with explaining the question and maybe showing you something versus me trying to type it out sometimes. So the question came about, how do I access the bonuses? Just flat out, how do I access them? So there are two ways. Well, three. Some of you got on the early bird list through a link, drtk.com/links. And it took you to a waitlist page where you just added your name. Then, as of yesterday, you started receiving early access behind the scenes if you want access now, because the early bird bonuses do expire Sunday at midnight Pacific Standard Time. Click these links in this email and get access. So you should have gotten an email yesterday. If you joined before 2 o'clock yesterday, you also should have gotten an email sometime today, probably, I think 1. Okay. So that's that. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, but you want access to the bonuses, like I just finished catching up with all the replays or something, or I did the bootcamp last cohort, I'm ready. So you have two ways of getting in. If you're in the Facebook group, there's a post that I posted 9 hours ago, and it said announcement. Click on this link, and you will go to a page that looks like this. Now, there is another way to do it. If you're watching on YouTube or on Instagram and you don't have access to the Facebook group, you don't even have a Facebook page. You may want one, though, eventually, because you want to get into the DTA Facebook group for additional support. Okay. So I'm not going to make you do that right now. What you can do, go to the link in my bio on Instagram if you want early bird access. Okay. This is required. We're not going to give it to you on Monday. As of Monday morning, the early bird is gone. Okay. So we keep track of those people who register. We have the timestamp of when you signed up. You signed your contract as well. But bottom line is we got the timestamp of when you put your information in and say, here's my car, sign me up. We rectify that list every single day. We are adding you to a list. And then what will happen after we have our first cohort call, you will start to get emails saying, hey, you have a complimentary seat for the CE workshop. Click here if you can make it live. If not, you'll get the replay, right? On the 28th, hey, you've been granted access to X, X, Y, and Z. Okay. So if you go to the Instagram link, you can also access it here. It will open up the exact same page. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what to do just in case you have not done it or you're not received. If you have not received any early bird emails yesterday or today, you are not in the early bird list, and you cannot just get it by going on Instagram. You won't see the enrollment page. So This is what the page looks like. Bootcamp Deets. This is for people who want to watch the replays as well, because we recognize that a lot of people that just stumbled across me, they didn't even know that it was a bootcamp. And now they want to still be a part of it because they have until next Friday to watch the replays. Okay. So this page is for therapist friends who maybe you want them to watch the replays and get the bootcamp experience. But also you may just want to get access to this stuff. So this is the countdown clock. You got an hour and you got a day and 5 hours and 7 minutes to get access to these early bird specials. These are the early bird specials right here. So the CE workshop, the social media course, and then everybody does get the Know Your Worth, but these first two are only until Sunday. These are all the replays if you need to just access it quickly, but you can also just go over to YouTube, okay? There's another button down here that says Access Early Birds. All you have to do to get on the early bird list is click this button. I'm going to type in my name. I'm going to type in one of my email addresses that probably y'all see when I'm emailing you. Right? So once you type it in, I'm going to walk you through the process. You're going to click Get Access. Ta-da! You will so if I were you, I would probably do it on a computer because on your phone, it's just little. Right? So do it like on an iPad or something, right? Where if you're ready to sign up, do it on a device that you can add your card. Okay. So this is the enrollment page. This is the full countdown for when DTA shuts down in total, not the early bird. The early bird ends this Sunday, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So if we see that you signed up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you still got DTA, but you don't have those other bonuses on Monday morning. Okay. So you can either just click enroll now, or you can continue to read about the program. Watch the little intro video. There's more testimonials from different students. We break down our framework, more testimonials from different students. Information from me. It gives you a recap of what's included. Again, just in case, for whatever reason, you either didn't watch video 4 or you don't know about video 4, right? Some more testimonials, just in case you didn't see them. Then you have actual students who are talking to you, right? So we got Shayla, we got Melissa, we got Brittany, we got Kelly. Watch their little 90-second videos if you just want to, I don't know, hear from some students. And then, read some more. I got every question you got, I got it on this page. Okay. So then some more testimonials, right? Then you got 3 ways to join. 12 pay, 7 pay, pay in full. Everybody gets the same perks. Nobody gets anything different. The only difference is you do save some money if you pay in full. If you do a payment plan, you put down a deposit today, and then every 30 days, it says it right here on the bottom. Make sure that when you click join now, that you're ready to sign up. Okay. If you keep scrolling, more testimonials, 7-day guarantee. As soon as you join, the 7-day period clock starts. The 7-day does not start after our coaching call. The 7 days start from the day you sign up. Do not allow this to make you sign up on next Friday and miss out on these early bird bonuses. That does not make sense. Right? So get in, start the course. Also, let me just say this, because this has happened before, like one time. We honor the 7-day, like full refund, right? But let me just be clear. You cannot clearly get an understanding of what this program can do for you if you ain't even made it to the blueprint. So we had a person who watched the orientation call and then said, you know what? I know everything in the course already. I'm gonna go ahead and ask for a refund. And I can look at the course portal and see where they left off. And I'm like, they didn't even do the questionnaire. They didn't even do the blueprint. And they had a whole 7 days. And they asked for a refund like on the 6th day. So I'm like, either that wasn't the truth, and that's fine. I don't ask you for the truth, because some people, that's not the reason why you ask for a refund. But I ain't about that. The only thing we say is there something that you would like to add as to why the program wasn't a good match? Because we want to consider that to tell people for the next go round, to explain things maybe more better, right? And so, but bottom line is we give you your money back. Boom, process, refund. Okay. So that is taking the risk off of you and putting the risk on me. And the reason it's a risk for me is that I'm allowing you to look at all of the intellectual property that I've spent the last more than 11 years building, putting it into a beautiful and awesome course shell, and offering live coaching with support. I'm letting you see that and test drive a coaching call, and you could still get a refund. That is unheard of in a lot of online courses. A lot of online courses will not even let you see what I'm showing you, right? So you get 7 days and you can say it's not aligned with me, right? Now, but some of the other ones that are more like real and comical, we've had students outright say, listen, they're ready to be no business owner. And like we laughed in the email like together, me and the therapist, and I was like, all right, bet. Like just come back when you're ready. And they were like, I'm gonna go back to my 9 to 5. Do what you do. No shame. Not everybody's made to own a business. Okay. It is not easy. These are your support coaches. So now you get to put a picture, a face to a name. Shayla is our support coach. Dr. Roche is our financial support coach. And then here are the FAQs. So if you want to learn more about what you didn't already know, then you're going to look through the FAQs. If I get your other students have been successful, but how do I know what it takes? Boom. Read it, right? Let me read this. Actually, it says, look, if you made it this far, meaning on the page, that means I know you're hungry for success. You either have a practice that is inconsistent, only a side hustle, or you want to start a practice within the next 12 months. You either fall in one of those categories. The systems I teach you within the DTA program does work. You just have to apply them, meaning you have to work the program. If you apply even 25% of what I teach you in the program and you show up and get support clearly, you'll shift your abundance. Plus, we offer a 7-day guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Okay. We talk about how our programs are structured, meaning we don't offer one-on-one, but you can show up and ask your one-on-one question. I don't have as much time. It's self-paced, right? How do I receive access to the portal? As long as you're in the program, you receive access. How are the coaching calls structured? What if I miss one? You watch the replay. You come, we share wins, we do announcements, we answer your question if you have one, and or we pull something out of the portal if we feel like something is a struggle, right? Or we see a commonality of questions in the Facebook group, we'll pull that to the call. What if I have other questions or need support? Once you're enrolled, you can also create a support ticket if it's more technological based, like you can't find something. Will DTA work for me if I'm not licensed? Yes. Short answer, see the video below. Like I've thought about every single question that y'all could possibly ask me. I promise. Right. So what I do, I can tell a lot of people don't read this page because if you did, I honestly will probably receive 1 to 2 questions. And granted, some people haven't made it to this page. That's why I'm showing it to you. But those of you who actually make it to this enrollment page, I just can't see where there is any other question outside of more. Do you think I got what it takes? Well, I can't answer that. You have to answer that. And the question I did throughout the whole boot camp is, are you ready to bet on you? I cannot answer that. That's between you and your higher power, right? Ready to start, get access now, more testimonials. Okay. So this is the thing. Every single button that you click enroll now is going to take you here. Okay. Now, let me be clear too. Let's just say if you open it up and you like, oh man, I need to wait until Sunday morning to do it. Like I see this page. Soon as you put in your name in email to get access to this enrollment page before Sunday night ends, you're also going to get an email, 2 of them. One of them says, congratulations, like you're on the early bird wait list or whatever. Then there's going to be another email that says, here are all the bonuses. Click this link to sign up. Okay. And then you'll probably get an email tomorrow too as a reminder. Okay. So don't freak out if you may get emails back to back. Some of them are automated based on what time you do it. Okay. So this is really important. Once you are ready to sign up, when you click any of these buttons, they're going to go to the exact same page. Okay. So I'm just going to click one random one. Okay. It's going to go to a simple checkout page. When you go to the checkout page, all you have to do, first name, last name, email address. We ask it twice because I would highly recommend that you use, if you're part of the boot camp or you're on my email list, use the exact, or if you have access to any other thing that I did that has a Kajabi core shell. I do have to say that, or I choose to say that, because I would prefer all of the things that you have from me all in one core shell. So some people have like my freebie library that has like abundance checks. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no online courses in there, newsletters, right? They got that like 3 years ago. Some people did a CE workshop with us in which it had a core shell. Whatever email address you use to log into Kajabi, sign up with the exact same email address so that when you log into Kajabi, some of you who have access to a core shell from me, you'll see it on the thank you page. It's going to say, use the same email. You should already see DTA there. Just make sure to sign your contract. Okay. If you're very new to me, or you don't have any course shell, use the same email address that you have used for everything that I just showed you from the boot camp. The reason being, automation. I explained that yesterday on that mock call in the Facebook group. Once you are designated in our system and you're recognized as a DTA student, and it's going to take you out of the reminder emails that, hey, DTA is open up for enrollment. So within 24 hours, you will no longer be getting at least emails about like bootcamp related, right? You may get something saying I'm doing something in the Facebook group. That's more impromptu, but you won't get anything saying like enroll in DTA because you've already been identified as a student. Now, if you're still getting those emails, odds are you enrolled in our bootcamp with 2 different email addresses. Okay, pretty simple. So last part, make sure due to these double digits, triple digits, quadruple digits, that you look at the right payment plan. Make sure you click the box that pertains to your payment plan. When you look at the whole page, it's going to say if you do 333, you pay in full one time. If you do a 7-pay, look what it says. It says 7-month payment option. You pay $555 today or the day you sign up. And then there's 6 additional payments of the exact same amount. If you need to update your card, there's a video in the portal for that too. I've automated. I practice what I preach. If I want you to automate, I've automated it for you. Okay. But we'll still assist you if you need help. If you want to do a 12-pay, same thing. Now, also, you cannot change your payment plan once you're in, right? You cannot change your payment plan once you are in. Okay. Now, you do see something on the bottom of the screen. I'm a test dummy for all of my funnels. And so if you've ever purchased anything from me before and been to a checkout page, it may recognize you and say, do you want to use the same card? If you don't, just say no. Right. And that's this button right here. Right. It's just these systems make it so much easier, kind of like our Simple Practice EHRs, to have our clients like go through your systems. Okay. Put a 1 in the comment box if this was helpful to either go over how to access the early bird bonus. So again, if you simply just click on this link in my bot, go to drtk.com/links. Okay. Let me put that up there. Okay. So go to let me put the other one. If you go to drtk.com/links, or you go to Instagram and click the link in my bio, or you got emails to sign up, the early bird does expire midnight tomorrow. The 6 CE workshop is in the middle of September. It is on a Saturday. There is a replay available, but you have to be there live to get the CEs. So no matter what, you will get the 7 streams of income replay, even if you do come live still, but you will get APA CEs if you qualify for APA CEs, completely free. The show up is free. The CEs are free for you, right? You get the social media course by the 28th. You get the Know Your Worth. Okay. So I'm happy that this was helpful for the live. Let me just scroll up on Instagram. I think just people were hopping on and then they were hopping on YouTube. Let me actually just check Facebook because I think everybody watching on YouTube. But let me check Facebook just to make sure there are not any other questions. Now, if questions come up after I go live, just post your thread, your question. But I also created a actual Q&A thread. So here, let's do this. Under, I think I might have already pinned it. Okay, no. So if you want to get access in the Facebook group, just like you want to see everything really quickly, I would encourage you to go to the, I would encourage you to go to the top of the page. So what we've done, just to make it a lot, again, easier, is that we've pinned a replay outside of just going to YouTube. We've pinned a replay all at the top. So here's like, not a replay, but like the takeaways. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all the replays are on YouTube. Here's the mock session. It says TK Marie because it links it to my personal page, whatever. And then here's the fast action bonuses. It'll stay up, but it'll only be applicable until Sunday. And then here's the question. So like if I open this, I'll be able to go in. Like I told all of these people, I'm going live. I'm going live. And this person, I had already answered their question. Okay. All right, y'all. So I believe that is it. We have no additional questions that came in. So for those of you who have already joined DTA, congratulations. Enjoy your weekend, self-care. Just quick tip, start looking at your calendar right now and block out a time to work on your business. Start with where you are, build up over time. If you literally feel like by looking at your calendar, you only have 1 hour of spare time to give to your business beyond the coaching call, then put it on your calendar for next week. You don't have to be a super duper planner and plan out for the whole month. Just simply add it to your calendar that I'm going to log into the DTA portal on Monday from 9 to 10. When you get into the portal, check your energy and, pepped up, cool. Do it at your prime time. I'm more prime in the morning. Some people are more prime in the evening. You choose your time. Some people are night owls. I'd like do whatever you got to do. But when you go in, look at what needs to be done and maybe even set a timer on your phone. Now, I would encourage you, unless you're really watching a longer replay, do not sit there and binge watch more than like 90 minutes, which is typically a replay of a coaching call, because you can only take in so much information at a time, your brain. After about 90 minutes, kind of like even working out, after 90 minutes of working out, unless you're just taking selfies in the gym, your body is going to stop performing just like your brain is going to shut down. And to be quite frank, if you're watching a replay, you can press pause. I would press pause after every 45 minutes. You need to get up, stretch, unless you're walking around listening to it. Okay. All right, y'all. So for those of you who joined DTA, our team will start letting you all in the Facebook group. Some of y'all got let in this morning. And so we did an announcement. You may see an announcement, even if we couldn't tag you, probably because you weren't in the you weren't in the Facebook group yet, so we couldn't tag you. But we will start, letting our current students know that y'all there. They will start welcoming y'all. But also, it will probably be more welcomed on Monday because a lot of our clinicians, we practice care. People are spiritual. They go to church either on Saturday or Sunday as well, or they just take a break from social media. So odds are whatever happens in our groups also, in our program groups on Saturday and Sunday, it may not even be seen until Monday. But don't worry, y'all gonna feel the love. So congratulations for those of you who joined. If you are very early on in your private practice career and this is not the right time, or you're studying for the licensing exam, I just want you to say this with me. It is already done. Oh, last thing, have people joined while about to take the licensing exam. Every cohort, we got about one, and every cohort, I swear, as long as y'all get into my DM on Instagram and say, yo, I passed, or they post it on Facebook, or they tell us in a coaching call. But if it's in writing, I swear to you, I will blow you up like on my Instagram stories, because I want, and the Facebook group, because I want everybody to celebrate you. That is a huge, huge accomplishment. And sometimes for some people, and for those of you who didn't pass on the first time, got your coach. I passed on the third time. First time I failed by 6 points. That's like 2 damn questions. The second time I failed by 3 points. Put a 1 in the comment box. Actually, put a 2 in the comment box if you would like me, at least in the Facebook group, to link up some motivation around passing the licensing exam, whether you have test anxiety, whether you have been telling yourself limiting beliefs like I'm not going to pass, or you've taken the test and you don't believe that you're going to pass, which are all limiting beliefs, right? Or you didn't pass, right? So I have a whole podcast episode that's called like Failure to 100K Months. And I would highly encourage you, if you just need some motivation, even if it ain't even about the licensing exam, it is a very good episode. But bottom line is, I didn't pass the exam until I believed that I was going to pass it. And what I did in practice is I woke up every day saying, I'm going to pass today. Actually, I started saying I passed the exam already, like it was already done. I put a paper, like, you wake up and, you wake up, go straight to the bathroom, whatever, right? So I put a paper on the wall that said, congratulations, you passed your test today. You passed the EPPP. Like, it was in bright colors on my wall. And then I also made my alarm clock every day say, congratulations, you passed your test. So like I was retraining my subconscious mind to believe that it had already happened. So what happened is when I showed up, I already showed up as though I already passed it, versus before I was showing up saying, oh my God, I hope I pass. Then the second time I went in, I was like, I ain't even gonna tell nobody I'm taking the test because I don't know if I'm gonna pass. Well, guess what? Six points away from passing, 3 points away from passing. Now, the crazy part is, it's not like I didn't know the information. I did. I got quizzed over and over again. I was passing a practice test. But when I sat down after I got past question 1, I got anxiety around already feeling like I had failed. This is the gist of the episode, so you ain't gotta listen to it, right? So the third time I took it, just like crazy story. If you want to listen to it, cool, stay on. If not, go sign up for DTA. So what ended up happening during this exam, trauma is a real thing. Okay. Context. I used to date a guy in my early 20s and he had a seizure disorder. One day we're in my mom's living room doing like a movie date, right? Fell asleep. I was in college at the time, fell asleep on the couch. Woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? On the couch still, damn TV playing. And I thought he was snoring. He was having a seizure. Now, the problem is communication. He never told me he had seizures nor a seizure disorder. If you know about seizure disorder, it's serious. You got to take medication, all those things, right? So I freaked out. And the problem was he wasn't waking up, but he was alive. And he snored his way, kind of like profusely sweating. My whole body was wet. He didn't know what happened until the next morning. So I say all that to say, I recognize the sound of a seizure happening. So I went to go to the first time I took my test, I took it, I think in Oakland when I was up north in Northern California for school. And I took it in the morning because my prime time was in the morning. Well, I told myself because I didn't pass at that time, maybe it was the morning, so I need to take it in the evening at a different location. And so I went to San Francisco, took it at 1 o'clock. Bad idea. I was hella tired when I got there. Like, I'm ready for lunch. So I went back to taking it in the morning, but I took it when I moved back to LA for my pre-doctoral internship, right? Or no, I was getting ready for postdoc at that point because you have to wait like a certain amount of time and you got to pay again. So by that time, I did all this reworking of my subconscious mind. And I was just like really excited. I even took a break the day before I went to go take my test, and I went with a friend. We went and rode bikes on the Santa Monica Pier to like the Venice Beach, got seafood, got ice cream, and just enjoyed life because I realized that I have all the information inside of me. I hope that I'm talking to somebody right now, even if I'm not talking about licensure, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Put it in the comment box if you just feel like, again, I'm pricking your soul right now. No matter what season you're going through, you have a lot of the gusto and information inside of you, but maybe you don't know how it's going to show up. Maybe you don't know how to maneuver it and put the pieces together, which is like what DTA does, right? But for me, I knew that I had all the context of the information. I just needed to believe in myself to believe that I was going to pass the test. So I paid another $500 for the first exam, and soon as I got to question number 2, when I got to question 2, I said, "Oh hell yeah!" These are the 2 questions that popped up on a practice exam. I said, "Oh God, this is a good day." Right? It's a good day. Right? So I just knew I was gonna pass. And all of a sudden, I put on headphones so I could block out sound. I heard that snoring sound. That's why I gave y'all the context. So my first brain, as like Takesha, I was like, I know somebody ain't done fell asleep in this damn test. I know it's 8:30. So I was trying not to laugh in my cubicle, but I'm like, this cannot be happening. So I took the headphones off though, because I'm like, I don't know if that's sleep. It got louder and louder and louder. So then I heard commotion. Now, when you take those tests, you are in the room with people who are taking the LSAT for law school, the MCAT for medical school, EPPP to become a psychologist, master's level clinician, Board of Behavioral Sciences in California, whatever the test called, right? Everybody in there taking different type of tests. So everybody gets up, and it was so cute, like to see the MCAT students for medical school, like, oh my God, like they were like practicing what they were learning in their test, like trying to do it. And I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to be touching the dude. So to speed things up, I don't want to give all of the detailed information of what I saw because I did that in the podcast, but it definitely was traumatic. The guy was an older guy. I don't know what test he was taking, but he fell out of his seat. He, well, I guess I am giving details. He stopped breathing, like completely. The paramedics came. They did the whole. Now I want to, like, if this is too traumatic, hop off, okay? But they did like the pulse thing, like twice. They stuck him with the needle in his leg and his chest. Nothing. To the point where he's Caucasian, man. He started turning blue, and I'm like, huh. So we all standing around watching. Now, those of you who saw the boot camp and you may have listened to some of my podcast episodes, you know I've been exposed to a lot of trauma, right? So what tends to happen when you've been exposed to a lot of trauma, fight or flight response does go into effect. You don't control your central nervous system, but at the end of the day, sometimes you don't react the way that maybe other people are reacting because you're so used to trauma. And I'm used to bodies that don't move. if you get me, raised in Compton, see things, go to parties, see things. So what ended up happening is, this, please do not judge me, but one brain was like, he got to live, he got to wake up, right? They're going to do everything they got to do to save him. The other brain was like, I'm in a testing center. This is my third time. I done spent a total of $1,500 on this test, and I'm taking the test today. That's where my brain was. So what I said while they were doing the paramedic stuff is I got the attention, because everybody was more in shock, like just standing there. I got the attention of the people who were hosting the site. And I said, hey, I know, because my friends had taken the EPPP, and they had, one of them had a disability where she realized she had ADHD after, and she got tested for it. She went beyond the 4 hours and her computer shut down. So after 4 hours, your computer will shut down and go black, meaning you can't take the test no more. Like whatever score you got is whatever score you got. So because I knew that about her, I said, hey, it didn't take me no 4 hours, it took me like 2 hours. But I said, hey, what happened to the countdown clock on our computer? Because I honestly, I don't want to lose no time, but I clearly know that we can't do nothing right now, right? And so it's like, it was like a movie, like everybody snapped out of it, and they were like, oh my God, you're so right. Everybody, it was like a movie. Everybody go shut down, but press this button on your towers. So what it will do is it will pause our clock. So they did that. Now, an hour and a half had passed. My test juice is like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I want to pass. So some people were like, I don't want to take my test right now. Now, this is how I realized later, not in the moment, that my trauma that I've been exposed to made me more resilient, though. So they said, if you want to go home and reschedule your test, clearly we're not going to recharge you for it. Just reschedule it, because we had just started. We probably got like 30 minutes in. So I said, no, I want to take my test. I'm passing this damn test today. And they were like, all right, well, go sit down. Take a break, though, if you need to, whatever. We'll give you more breaks. I'm like, cool. I didn't take no damn break, y'all. I went through that test like the shortest amount of time. Now, during this, I didn't recognize that none of this was tied to fight or flight response, resiliency, nervous system, nothing. When I got my scores back, because back then you didn't get them instantaneously. When I got my scores back, remember I said the first time I didn't pass by 6 points. The second time I didn't pass by 3 points. So I said, well, damn it, I'm just going to break even and get 500. So when I got my score back, this is statistically unheard of. Most of the time when you take tests, your score goes backward. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Put a 1 in the comment box, right? When you retake a test, sometimes your test gets worse, your score. My test score went up by 54 points. 54. Now, again, I'm just jumping up and down hill where I'm at my job doing cartwheels and stuff. I was in the jail, right? Like, or no, I was at the high school. So I got really excited. So I then went to, you know what? I think I got my test locations mixed up. That's neither here nor there. I took all the EPPP up north. Yeah, and I took the ethics exam down here. That's what it was. So I was still working at the high school. So at that time, I was working with victims of crime. Guess what population, for therapists who understand this? I was working with victims of crime program, and they had subsections of populations. And clearly nobody wanted to work with these victims. So I was working with homicide, attempted homicide on their life survivors, or homicide victims' family members. I was doing trauma treatment with them in the community in Richmond, California. So caseload was full, mostly Black and brown families, right? In Vallejo, Richmond, Oakland, like surrounding cities. So when I was doing supervision with my supervisor, he was at that time evidence-based practice in what we now know as EMDR. Now, I had never been trained at EMDR, right? So I've been trained in other trauma treatments through LA County, but I do TFCBT for children, but I didn't do EMDR for adults. So he says, do you have anything else you want to talk about with your clients? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And so he was like, your test scores are like phenomenal. And I was like, yeah, they're good. I passed. Like, I'm just excited I passed. He said, but you passed by 54 points. Remind me again of your past test scores. So he's doing statistics right in my face, showing me how important statistics are. So he said, you should write a paper on this. Because at that time I had published my dissertation in like a local paper. And that's how I started getting referrals for clients. And then I had to tell them I didn't have a private practice. And so that's when I knew, oh, there's money to be made, right? So, but I'm like, I ain't licensed yet though. So I was like, I could develop like a little wait list and let you know when I'm licensed, but then I moved to LA and then I had an office, I can do telehealth, so all that stuff. So I said, why do you say I should write a paper? He said fight or flight response. He said all these things. He said, the fact that I know what I know about your background, it looks like You were traumatized. I want y'all to follow me. And I didn't even connect the dots, y'all. Just so you know, later on, when he told me this, I still didn't get it until I was teaching fight or flight response to my undergrad psychology students at Southwest College in South Central in Southern California. And I used to share case studies. So I was sharing with them this story about like what trauma looks like, even when you don't think it's trauma. So he proceeds to say, based on how you grew up and what you've been exposed to and whatever processing you did with your own trauma to a degree, it sounds like your upbringing prepared you to be more resilient in this moment and put your head down and get to work. And I was like, huh. Like we just had to sit there in silence because I took it, but I didn't understand how to process it in the moment, right? 29 years old, got my doctorate degree. Or 30. No, I just turned 30. I'm like, okay. And so it took a minute, like years, to process what he had said until I was retelling the story to other people. But I'm sharing this with you because I could have taken that as a failure. I could have not even been here with you all and just said, I'm just going to be a case manager or something. I'm going to go just help other people develop programs that do that well, right? I didn't pass the ethics exam on the first round. I failed that test the first time by 1 point. But again, I had to practice my subconscious, like mind reframes. And then I passed it over 11 points. Again, it didn't go backward. But why I'm sharing this with you is that I could have taken all of the things that I've been through in my life as failures. There's a lot of things that some of y'all don't know about me. It ain't like super traumatic, but it's like things where, just summary, like children should never be told you ain't gonna be shit. High schoolers should never be told by caregivers you're not going, not my mom, but like other caregivers, you're not going to graduate from high school because you got a smart ass mouth. You like blah blah blah, right? Teachers shouldn't tell you you ain't gonna be shit simply because I'm asking them for more work and they don't want to give me more work. They just want to sit behind a desk and give us workbooks that's printed offline that is not even related to the work that we're supposed to be doing. Now, I'm a smart girl. So if I got ever kicked out of class, which I did a lot in 9th grade, 10th grade, I would go to the office and apply for scholarships. That's how much of a strategic thinker that I was back then, not even realizing it, right? Meaning there are things in your past, let's just do therapy for a little bit. There's things in your past that have built you for the season that you're entering. But are you going to persevere and keep going, knowing that your higher power or the universe or God that you believe in, that they have been slowly kind of giving you the preparation to apply pressure? Or are you just going to look at it as, this is just failure? I'm just going to quit. I'm not meant to get help. I can't be nobody that she presented on the screen. I'm not like any of those people. Well, guess what? I didn't look like anybody who went to my grad program outside of 3 students. But you didn't see me quit grad school. I know I was admitted to meet a status quota because I for sure didn't meet the quota for them standardized GRE scores. I felt it. I felt discrimination, microaggressions in workplaces, but you didn't see me quit. I was having some super microaggressions with coworkers in internship, people giving me referrals just because they think that Black people understand Black people. So I became the token. You didn't see me quit, right? I'm a full-blown psychologist with a doctorate degree, but just because I got on Jordans and True Religion jeans going into these jails, so they told girls dress down, you got coworkers like probation officers telling you that you ain't no doctor. What kind of doctor are you, sizing me up? You don't see me quit my job that paid me 6 figures. I get kids in my private practice. I see the parent and they like, you could be my son's girlfriend, how young you look. But I'm like, I'm not though, I'm 30. You don't see me say I don't want to see teenage boys no more. Bottom line is I got examples for days. But what I'm sharing with you is no matter what obstacles you have run into, whether it's been in your early childhood, adulthood, grad school, workplaces, relationships, ending relationships, children, whatever it is, you can press past it. But I cannot showcase that to you. The only thing I can do is inspire you through storytelling of my own story. But you have to figure out what is your story and how do you want it to end? I know how I want my story to end. That's why when let me just lighten things up. When Barbie came out, it was over. Your girl tapped all the way in to the girl I used to be when I used to play Barbies, because I always tell my husband, like, I should really be doing podcast episodes on my son. If you go around a 5-year-old, if you let them jump off a 3-story building, they will, thinking they can fly. They're not delusional. They don't have any mental blocks yet. They haven't got a taste, a real one, of this world unless things are happening in their home. So I make sure, even though we got to keep boundaries and rules, I don't want to minimize his ability to dream, because that has happened to too many of us, right? It doesn't matter your culture. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. Everybody is resilient to whatever they've been exposed to. But I'm going to leave you with, are you going to stay in fear, failure, lack-minded, or poverty mindset zone? Or are you going to bet all on yourself and believe that you can rewrite your story? I am a woman or girl from Compton, California, just moved out at 38. And I've got a beautiful home. The only reason we moved is because I looked down and realized I got 2 boys and they cannot ever leave the gates as they get older without a car. They can't just roll their bikes to the liquor store, because I'm getting gang banged on. My husband and his brother getting gang banged on going to a Walmart. Absolutely not. I'm not raising 2 Black boys in this hood. So I moved 40 miles out because I can. And that's the beauty part about abundance and you rewriting your own story. You dictate how the story ends. Now, the universe and God, they know how the real story ends, but you dictate how you show up on earth. Period. Rewrite your story. All right. So with that said, DTA officially, if you didn't do the boot camp, it officially opens up on Monday. If you've heard of DTA before, if you want to check out more of DTA, I would highly encourage you, definitely do the boot camp, binge watch it. The first day is on niche. The second day is on wealth and abundance CEO. Check your numbers. Day 3 is, I'm going to say I'm not going to say the most important, but if you needed to watch any video out of the 4 and you're pressing for time, watch video day 3, because it's going to give you an assessment of the back office of a private practice. Your scores will dictate. I don't have to tell you. Your scores will tell you if you need DTA or not. I don't need to tell you anything. That's why I created the assessment. All right. So Instagram, Facebook, bootcamp group, YouTube group. I love y'all. For the bootcamp group, we got a contest going on in there. We're going to announce the winners more than likely on the 22nd, because the 22nd or 23rd, because it was a lot of responses that came in, which I'm forever grateful for. And now our team, since they're reading it, now they got to go pick the winner. So they've already been keeping track of like the people that already are kind of like ranking, but now we got to make sure y'all post it on every single takeaway day 1 through 4. But don't be shy to ask your question about DTA, right? If you're in DTA, go ahead and get started. You all have a blessed Sunday. I probably won't go live tomorrow unless other questions come up. But shoot your shot, ask your question, and I'll more than likely go live on Monday though, because it's open enrollment for the whole world for the Dope Therapist Academy Manifest a Profitable Private Practice Program. All right, Instagram, I'm going to end y'all over here, and YouTube and Facebook. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye.